Who wants to do the bhajan?
I can do the bhajan.
Go ahead. Who's doing?
Bhajan, Auntie.
Are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
What?
I'm doing Yashamati Nandana.
Go ahead.
Yashamati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashamati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damana Vidana Kaliya Damana Vidana Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Amala Harina Mamiya Vilasa Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Vipina Purandara Navina Nagara Bora Bamsi Badana Subhasa Bamsi Badana Suvasa Prajajana Palana Asurakulana Sana Prajajana Palana Asurakulana Sana Nanda Godana Rakovala Nanda Godana Rakovala Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Govinda Madhava Navanita Tashkara Sundara Nanda Gopala Sundara Nanda Gopala Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Basanahara Yamuna Tata Chara Gopi Basanahara Rasarasika Kripa Moya Rasarasika Kripa Moya Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavananatabara Shri Radha Vallabha Vrindavananatabara Bhakti Vinoda Shaya Bhakti Vinoda Shaya Yashomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Yashomati Nandana Braja Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Very nice. Good job. Let's go to the prayer. And somebody do the prayer, please.
I can do, Auntie.
Go ahead.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Pankajanabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गता माह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Thank you, Supreet. Thank you, Hemita. We'll move on to the verses now. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Karma Yoga, verse 9. So here again, Krishna is speaking. Yagnartat karmanonyatra. Sai.
I am muted. I was on mute before.
Go ahead. Repeat after me.
Yagnartat karmanonyatra
Lokoyam karma bandhanaha.
lokoyam karma bandhanaha
Tadartham karma kaunteya.
tadartam karma kaunteya
Mukta sangha samachara.
mukta sangha samarchara. Yagnartat karmanonyatra
Yagnarthat karmanonyatra
lokoyam karma bandhana
lokoyam karma bandhanaha
tadartam karma kaunteya
tadartham karma kaunteya
mukta sangha samachara.
ukta sangha samachara. Yagnarthat karmanonyatra
यज्ञार्थत कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
lokoyam karma bandhanaha
लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः
tadartham karma kaunteya
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
mukta sangha samachara.
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर यज्ञार्थत कर्मणोऽन्यत्र
Yagnatart karma nitra
लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धनः
loko yam karma bandhana
तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय
tar artam karma kauntaya
मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर
mukta sangha samarchara yagnartat karma nirgyatra
Yagnartha karmanonyatra
loko yam karma bandhana
lokoyam karma bandhana
tar artam karma kauntaya
tadartham karma kaunteya
mukta sangha samarchara
mukta sangha samachara. Yagnarthat karmanonyatra
Yagnartha karmano nyatra
lokoyam karma bandhana
loka yam karma bandhana
tadartham karma kaunteya
tad artam karma kaunteya
mukta sangha samachara.
mukta sangha samachara yagnartha karmano nyatra Yagnartat karmano nyatra
Karmanonyatra.
lokoyam karma bandhana
Lokoyam karma bandhana
tadartam karma kaunteya
tadartam karma kaunteya
mukta sangha samachara
mukta sangha samachara yagnartat karmano nyatra
Yagnartat karmanonyatra.
lokoyam karma bandhana
Lokayam karma bandhanaha.
tadartam karma kaunteya
Tadartam karma kaunteya.
mukta sangha samachara
Sangha samacharaha. Yagnartat karmanonyatra.
Yagnartat kamano nyatra.
Lokayam karma bandhanaha.
Loko yam karma bandhanaha.
Tad artam karma kaunteya.
Tad artam karma kaunteya.
Mukta sangha samachara.
Mukta sangha samachara. Yanarta kamano nyatra.
yagnartat karmano nyatra
Loko yam karma bandhana.
lokoyam karma bandhana
Tad artam karma kaunteya.
tad artam karma kaunteya
Mukta sangha samachara.
mukta sangha samarchana yagnartat karma nirata यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर. Okay, let's go to the translation. Now, Krishna is teaching us the art of working. Until now, he said how the consciousness should be, correct? Krishna was talking about how we should be detached, at the same time, not give up the work. We should still do the work in Krishna consciousness. So there was some teaching about, or pointers about how to have our mind focused on the work and thinking about Krishna, not being attached to the work or the results. And here more deeper definition or understanding of how we should be performing our work. So Krishna is giving the art of work. We have seen there are several programs like art of living, art of different arts, right, that we can learn. But one important art that we should learn is the art of working, because all of us work, because Krishna himself says in the last verse that nobody can ever nobody can ever be without doing anything. So each of us has to do something or the other. It's not like we can sit idle without doing anything. Yeah, at least to maintain our body, we need to do something. That's what Krishna concluded in the previous verse. So when it is really evident that everyone has to do work and it's inevitable for all of us to work, then why not learn how to do the work nicely? Why not learn the art of working? And with that, Krishna wants to inspire us how to work. Therefore, he's speaking this verse. He's saying, work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. So any work that we do, we should do it as if we are offering it to Vishnu. Vishnu is the Lord, right? Any work we do, I mean, the prescribed duties. Remember last week we talked about prescribed duties. Does anybody remember about what prescribed work is? If yes, can you please share?
It's like the duty that's like assigned to you and like based like on your like a standard of living.
Example?
Like Arjuna was like a Kshatriya, and his prescribed duty was to like fight in the war.
And what about your prescribed duty, Amog?
Mine's like study and
We talked about different roles because of the body, and then we also have certain duties because we are the soul. So remember, that's what we talked last week. I mean, y'all are not paying attention, is it? Can somebody else tell me what are the prescribed duties?
So basically, like each person has different prescribed duties. Not everyone has the same, and it varies off of your age. So basically, like for like kids like us, so like maybe some of our duties are to go to these classes, those classes, do our homework, go to school. And then our parents can give us some duties that we need to finish. And then for like older aged people like auntie, like you may have different duties like you have to work, you have to like clean, whatever you have. So everybody like varies off because of age and like whatever they're assigned to do.
Correct. That is about the duties because of this body. Then we also talked about duties about because of the soul that we are, right? Remember, we talked about two duties, Swadharma, Sanatan Dharma. Remember? What is Sanatan Dharma? Why are you not talking about that? That is also equally important. I even messaged in the group.
Sanatana Dharma is basically work for the soul. It's basically work for the soul, and then like Sanatana Dharma is basically what you do. It's like puja loop, chanting, basically like remembering Krishna consciousness. They're all Sanatana Dharma.
Correct. So that's also equally important. It's not like you only talk about your role because of what you are in this material world as a son, daughter, student, tennis player, and all. Equally important is Sanatan Dharma too. So Krishna is telling whether you're doing Sanatan Dharma. Of course, Sanatan Dharma is always with Krishna consciousness because you're reminded of Krishna. But even your regular work that you do as a student, as a daughter, as a son, as a brother, as a sister, as a tennis player, or as a soccer player, or as a math club member, or whatever you're doing, do it as a sacrifice for Krishna. So what does it mean when we say that we have to work as a sacrifice for Krishna? Which means we have to work with utmost clean consciousness. Just like if you are doing a puja at home, or if you are celebrating a festival, what do? Because it is spiritual, we clean our house, we give the best ingredients possible to the Lord, we make sure that we ourselves are clean, right? And we take shower, we wear fresh clothes, and we went to enter the puja room, and we offer fresh flowers, we offer all the best ingredients to the Lord. Why? Because we know that that activity is directly, specifically meant to the Lord, and therefore we try to give all the cleanest and the best things possible. Agreed with this point or no? All of you agree and understand, right? Now, coming to the work that we do, you might ask, Auntie, how can I do my studies as an offering to the Lord? How can I do my tennis playing as an offering to the Lord? Or how can I do any other activity which is not directly related, which is not directly Sanatana Dharma as an offering to the Lord? We can by developing the right consciousness, by having a clean mind and clean thought. And we have to always do it as if we are doing to please Krishna, right? Suppose, what is the examples of clean mind? Clean mind is not having the tendency to cheat, not having the tendency to procrastinate, not having the tendency to pick shortcuts, right? Not having the tendency to insult others. In our activities, we can be doing all these things, right? We can be lazy, we can be doing cheating, we can be maybe doing shortcuts, we can be pretending. Remember, Krishna says a pretender is not a superior person. So we can be doing all these things while performing our activities, be it studies, be it extracurricular, be it math, or be it just doing household chores. Yes, Hemita.
So back to the point when you're like, don't insult others. What if like you're just doing it for like fun and not like seriously?
Why should we insult others for fun?
Like it's just like a joke or like whatever, like you're just joking around and like you just like insult each other like, for
I mean,
as a joke.
It depends upon the intimacy you have with that person. If that person understands and knows that you're playing jokes, and he doesn't, and he is going to take it easy, then that's fine. But if the other person already has a sensitive relationship with you, you already are not very good friends, or you had some issues in the past or recently, and you make jokes or cut jokes with that person, that person might not take it the way you intended it, right? So you should be very careful when we are playing jokes with others. or talking in a joking manner, you have to consider your relationship with that person. You have to have the trust that that person is going to take it easy and take it with the intention that you played that joke, right? Otherwise, it might, I mean, initially that person might just feel little hurt, but eventually, if that joke continues and gets repeated, then the person might subconsciously develop um, some type of not a good relationship with you subconsciously. It's not intentionally thinking, oh, she's mean to me, but subconsciously, oh, she talked to me like this, or he talked to me like this, so he's being mean to me. Subconsciously, that happens. So why do we want to get into that, right? So we have to be careful when we are playing jokes or insulting others for fun's sake, right?
Yeah.
So work done as sacrifice for Vishnu to be performed means every activity has to be done clean. That means you are thinking, oh, I'm doing this activity. Will my parents be happy if I do it this way? Or will Krishna be happy if I do it this way? I'm just being lazy here. I'm not learning. Maybe I will get a B instead of an A. What is the big deal? But will Krishna be happy if I do this? Why am I being lazy? Am I doing because I'm wasting my time somewhere else, or I just I don't like that subject? What is the root cause of my being lazy? Analyze and think about it. And then try to do it clean, try to do it the best way, as just like we offer the best ingredients when we do puja to the Lord. Similarly, we have to offer every activity with the best ingredients of thought process, with the best ingredients in our thoughts, in our mind, and in our heart. That is the meaning of how to do work as if an offering to Krishna has to be performed. So when you are constantly thinking, I have to do it cleanly, I have to not do it in a way that I'm cheating anyone. For example, most of you are sitting here and looking at the screen, but I don't know if you're looking and listening to me or you're doing something else. Because whatever we discuss in this class today, if I ask you all next week, most of you all are not saying what we discussed now, which clearly says that you're not following or not listening to what we're talking. That is not a clean act. That is not a work done as sacrifice to Vishnu. That is exactly the opposite of it. One simple example of how work can be done as a sacrifice to Krishna. Got it? Okay, let's see. Mihir can repeat what I said. Mihir? Are you here, Mihir? Thumbs up if you're able to hear me.
Oh, hello, Auntie. I cannot. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, tell me what we discussed till now.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you properly, but
So what were you doing all this time? If you're not able to hear me, why were you not telling me that you didn't hear?
No, I was still like trying to fix my thing.
So the whole time you didn't hear from the time that we started speaking about this verse?
No, I heard even into the verses, but
Okay, I lost you. I'm not able to hear you now.
I was able to like hear you properly before, but like when you're doing the verses, but like here now, like before I couldn't like really hear you.
Yeah, that's the part where I started explaining what this verse means. And you're saying you couldn't hear exactly what the verse means because you didn't pay attention, not because you didn't hear. Okay, I'm not going to really worry about students who are not interested and who are pretending. Okay, let's see who else has heard me and want to repeat or explain what we did. Yes, Sai.
You were talking about a clean mind and how we should do everything with like our parents and Krishna in mind.
Exactly. Yeah. And therefore, Krishna is telling work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. If we don't do our work with a clean mind and as an offering to the Lord, what happens? We get bound to the activities that we are doing. We get disturbed, or we get too elated, or too disturbed, or too emotional with the activities that we do, because we have not done with the clean mind. We have done with an attachment, or we have done with by cheating, or when we do works with when we do works with are not what we call righteous, then what happens? How does it cause bondage to us? We're in constant worry about the result. What if somebody knows I did this? What if my result doesn't come well? What if I've been pretending, but what if people know that I'm a pretender? So these are constantly worrying us, right? And that is a type of bondage that we are entangled into, where we're constantly disturbed or worried. Or if you are done with a lot of attachment, you have done with a lot of passion, I want to be the winner, I want to get the trophy, or I want to be recognized as the best person. If you have done with that type of emotion too, you are disturbed because you are constantly worried about the result. And even after the result comes, if you don't get the first place or the desired position that you wanted, you are thinking, this is waste of my effort. What went wrong? Why is the teacher mean to me, or why is God mean to me? So all these type of thoughts come to us because we have not done with the mood of sacrifice, as a mood of sacrifice for Vishnu. If we do it with clean mind, clean thoughts, clean heart, and as an offering to Vishnu, we do our best in the first place, and then we don't get entangled by all these emotions. Make sense? See, there are several meanings to this, but I am trying to give you all the meanings that is applicable to us in this group. There will be higher philosophies too, higher ways of understanding this based on which stage of life we are in. But for us to understand at this age, what does it mean for me to perform work as a sacrifice to Lord? It simply means I have to do it very cleanly, with the best intentions, without attachment, giving my best with enthusiasm. Get it? That's for us right now in this group. Now, if I speak the same verse with maybe your parents, or I'm hearing it from another person, the verse might not have the exact same meaning. It might vary because I am different at a different stage in my life and at a different setting than each one of you. Yes or no? So we have to apply and take the information in a way that we can elevate ourselves from where we are and do the best we can. Yes or no? So takeaway from this is, from the first sentences, do every activity with clean intentions. Try to remember Lord Vishnu, Krishna constantly. Thereby, I will not be entangled. And then what does Krishna say? He continues to say, therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. And in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Just like suppose you're working for a company. Let's say you're volunteering for GitaWise. Let's take this small example that you can relate to. Okay, let's assume that you're volunteering for GitaWise. And as GitaWise teacher, I tell you, hey, can you take care of this particular aspect of sending a newsletter every week? Correct? Right now, once you do that job very well, take the job, listen in the class attentively, and note down all the points. And as soon as the class is done, in 5 minutes, put the points together, summarize them, take the format in which the flyer is made or the newsletter is made, put them all together, take all the information, follow all the instructions that were given, and you finish it up and send it to Aruna auntie back. Right? So what have you done? You have done your job of listening attentively, noting down the points, putting them all together, and putting them in the format that was given, and then sending back to Arnant. So in this place, the whole purpose of doing that activity was to do your best, where you had to be attentive, where you have to collect the information, do not miss the information, no grammatical errors, and then put them in that format and do it in a way and send it on time to Aruna auntie. And Aruna auntie is pleased because that was the task that was given to me. And I have done in a way that the job giver or the person who has given me the job is pleased. To that extent, I do my work well. And after that, I'm not really worried about if the flyer has been read by everyone in the class, if everybody has responded, if everybody has appreciated my flyer, is everybody pointing at my mistakes. I don't care about all that because I've done my job well. And I leave it to Aruna auntie how she takes care of the remaining part of the task. Whether she appreciates me or not, whether she tells my name to others or not, whether she praises me or not, I don't care about it, because at this point, I have done the job in a way that I was told for the purpose it was meant to be. Yes, Ishan?
So also when you do a task, a clean to have a clean mind, you don't think about like if you talk about them, if you have like greed to know that I want people to remember me. It's just if you have a clean mind, you're just supposed to be thankful that you didn't act like that. I'd be great.
Correct. So in this example of one of you doing the activity assigned to you by your teacher, and you just finish it with enthusiasm, on time, with all the perfect rules followed, and with the real good intentions, and you hand over the task to your teacher. After that, it's not your problem, or you're not worried at all, because you have done a job well in the to satisfy the teacher. Similarly, all the jobs that we do in this body are tasks that we have been given by Lord Krishna, who is our supreme teacher, supreme guide, and supreme guardian. And as long as we do our jobs, we don't have to worry about the results of it, because that is up to Krishna what he does with those results. Yes or no? Because each one of us has been given different families, different features, different settings in our families, different experiences. The nature and nurture of each one of us is different, which means Krishna has given each one of us different tasks or different way of doing our things. Yes or no? Different situations of doing our things. But the way we do our things is, again, with a clean mind, clean heart, and clean intentions, to the best of our capacity, constantly remembering Krishna. Got it? Any questions on this? That way, when we do, what happens? We don't get bound by the work itself or by the results of the work. By getting bound by the work itself means, it is too much work. This work is too nice. I want to really continue doing it. That is also getting bound by the work, getting consumed by the work, right? Sometimes we are so much involved and we forget our other priorities just because we like to do only one type of job, right? At the same time, we are hateful of certain activities and we're like, when will I finish this work? I don't want to do this. I hate to do it. That's called getting bound by the work itself, whether negatively or positively. And getting bound by the results of the work is, after the work, I don't know what type of result will come. Oh, I was pretending there. Oh, I cheated there. Oh, I didn't do my best there. I was lazy here. I procrastinated. So that is one type of binding. Another one is, I did so much hard work. I sacrificed all this. I want to be the best. I want the recognition. I want the appreciation. I really want to get the first place. That is another type of binding. Yes or no? And then when the results come, based on the results and based on the emotions that went while doing the work and after doing the work, we're again bound by the results because we are tired, we are sad about the results, or we're happy by the results. So we are unnecessarily complicating the whole process of working instead of keeping it simple. Simple is do the job well. A job well done is a job that pleases Krishna, and it's a definition of a job well done is actually what is Krishna teaching us in this verse. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Just remember, what does it mean to do sacrifice for Vishnu? It is just like, what does it mean to do work as a sacrifice for Vishnu? Just like when I do puja, just check your parents when they do puja. They make sure that they take shower, they have the best flowers, they wear fresh clothes, they clean the puja room, they clean the altar, right? They do all this. Why? That's the best way to do when we are directly interacting with anything related to God. Similarly, every work also can be clean by building a clean consciousness. Okay? No questions or no points to discuss. We can go to the next verse. Yes, you have a question, Om?
So whatever action we do, we're not supposed to have an attachment.
Of course not. You should have a goal
Mhm.
for every activity you do. Goal meaning, suppose you are whatever grade you are in, 7th grade, correct? So your 7th grade goal for you should be, I should get A's in all the subjects. That is the goal. And when you set a goal, you work for it.
Okay.
So working for that goal is important more. Working again, how do you work with this consciousness that we discussed today?
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, and when you work with clean consciousness and work toward the goal, then after that, you have worked toward the goal, you have done your best, and then you're not worried about the results. If you're worried about the results and you're constantly thinking about the results, then that means you're attached. But if you're working constantly toward the goal, see, goal is different from results, right? Goal is what you are foreseeing, and result is after the fact of doing the work, correct?
Yes.
So you work toward the goal, but don't worry about the results.
Okay.
Because setting the goal and working the goal is in your control. Just for example, let's assume the act of gardening, right? Suppose I have the goal of growing nice vegetables coming summer. So I have that goal. Then what do? I collect the best seeds possible, right? And when it's appropriate time, I sow the seeds. And
Yes.
after sowing the seeds, I water them appropriately. And then I make sure that I give the best soil, best watering, best everything. And then suddenly the temperature comes down, falls down suddenly, unpredictably it falls, the temperature falls, or it's a heavy rain, that my plant didn't survive. So I worked toward my goal well. I did all the best things needed, having the goal in my mind. So that till then it is good. But the result, if I think now, it's not in my control, right? Is that in my control? Can I control the wind? Can I control the rainfall? Can I control the temperature? Maybe I can do to some extent, I can have a greenhouse. But beyond how much beyond your capacity, there are some things which are not in our control. We have to remember that. Even if I have a greenhouse, what if there was a terrible thunderstorm which blew away my greenhouse? I mean, those are all extreme situations I'm talking about. So we have to always constantly remember that I'm not going to look for the results. I'm only going to have a vision of my goal and work toward the goal.
Okay.
You should have a goal and you should have a vision and you should have a good working ethic. And working ethic is what the good work ethic is what is being defined by Krishna here. It doesn't in no way mean that you should not be, oh, because I don't have to be attached to results, I don't have to work. No, that is not what the message we are giving here. Got it, Om?
Yes.
Is it clear or is it confusing still? Anybody else? Anybody have questions about this concept of setting the goals but not working for the results? Is it clear? Okay, now let's go to the next verse. Okay, Shrika, repeat after me. Sahayagna praja srishtva
Hayagna praja srishtva
purovacha prajapatihi
purovacha prajapatihi
anena prasavishya anena prasavishyadvam
anena prasayisvatyam
okay anena prasa
anena prasa
vishyadvam
vishyadvam
anena prasavishyadvam
anena prasavishyadvam
eshavostva ishtakamadhuk
esavostva ishtakamaduk
esavoshtvishtakammadhuk.
esavostva ishtakamaduk
So we can do it esavostvishtakammadhuk
esavotvishtakamadak
esavostvishtakammadhuk.
esavostvishtakamadak.
It is little tricky, but do it slowly, all of you. Don't worry about not doing it well. It's okay if you make mistakes. So practice. Go ahead, Shrika. You can read now.
Sahayagna praja srishtva
Sahaya
Prahasishtra
purovacha prajapatihi
Purovacha Prajapatihi
anena prasha vishvatyam
Anena Prasavishyatvam
esavostvishya kamaduk.
एषवोष्विष्टकामधुक् सह यज्ञ प्रजा सृष्ट्वा
Sahayagnya prajashishta.
पुरोवो पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
Vacha prajapatihi.
अनेन प्रसविष्यत्वम्
Anena prasavishyadvam.
एषवोष्विष्टकामधुक्
Esha vostvishta kamaduk. Sahayagnya prajah shishtva.
Sahayagna
Puro vacha prajapatihi.
पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः
Anena prasavishyadvam.
अनेन प्रसाविष्यद्वम्
Esha vostvishta kamaduk.
एष वो स्वसिष्टकर्मदक्
Okay. Eshavostvishta.
एष वो स्वस्तकामदक्
Okay.
सहायज्ञ प्रजासृष्टा
Sahayagna prajasrisva.
पुरुवाच प्रजापतिः
Puruvacha prajapatihi.
अनेन प्रसविष्यद्वम्
Anena prasavishyadvam.
एष वो स्वस्तकामदक्
Esha vostvista kamadak. Sahayagna prajasrisva.
Sahayagna prajashishta.
Puruvacha prajapatihi.
Uruvacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Anena prasadvishtadvam.
Esha vostvista kamadak.
Esavo swastakamaduk. Sahayagna prajapati. Oh no. Saha pragna prajasrista. Sahayagna prajashishta. Puruvocha prajapati. Purovacha prajapatihi. Anina prasadvandam. Anena prasavishyadvam. Esavo swastakamaduk. Eshavostvishtakamadik. Sahayagna prajashishta.
Sahayagna prajashrista.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Anena prasavishyatvam.
Eshavostvishtakamadik.
Esavostvishtakamadak. Sahayagna prajashrista.
Sahayagna prajashrista.
Purovacha prajapati.
Puruvacha prajapati.
Anena prasavishyatvam.
Anena na prasidvishdam.
Esavostvishtakamadak.
Esha voshishta kamaduk. Sahayagna prajashrista.
Sahayagna prajashishtva.
Puruvacha prajapati.
Puruvacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasvishvadam.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Esha voshishta kamaduk.
Eshavo shistva kamadak. Sahayagna prajashistva.
Sahayagna prajasrištva.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Eshavo shistva. Eshavo stvishta kamadak.
Esha vostvishta kamaduk. Sahayagna prajasrištva.
Sahayagna prajashristva.
Purovacha prajapatihi.
Puruvacha prajapatihi.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Anena prasavishyadvam.
Esha vostvishta kamaduk.
Eshavo Swishta Kamaduk Sahayagna Praja Shristwa
Sahayagna praja srishtva
Purovacha Prajapati
Purovacha prajapatihi
Anena Prasavishyadvam
Anena prasayishyadvam
Eshavo Swishta Kamaduk.
Eshavos tvishtakamatuk. Translation. Okay, what does Krishna say here? Okay, now Krishna is talking about the details of how creation happens. He's saying in the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation." So when Krishna created this material world, he sent his agents and he sent along with he sent forth generations of men and demigods. And then he said he also sent along with the sacrifices Vishnu. So he sent the demigods. When the earth planet was created, he sent the demigods, and he also sent the various processes for sacrificing for Vishnu, and then said, you all perform this sacrifice, because we all have come here to this material world because um, we weren't living. We came down to this material world. We all know that, right? For some reason, for whatever reasons, we were not fit to live with Krishna in our own home, and we were sent to this material world. And then Krishna says, now that you all are here, I'm sending you all the demigods and also the sacrifices, and perform these sacrifices. And when you perform this sacrifice, what will happen? You will live happily and also eventually achieve liberation. What is the meaning of liberation? Meaning, again, you will come back to me. So Krishna is telling that these sacrifices and the work that we do has to be performed as a sacrifice. The various prescribed duties that we have, which are because of our body and because of our soul, when you do them as a sacrifice for the Lord, then what will happen? The ultimate goal of reaching the supreme or getting liberated is achieved. That's what Krishna is saying here. It's more of a technical detail as to how to implement. But for us, the main essence was in the previous verse. And here, Krishna is saying, during creation, I created the demigods and sent the rules and regulations for us to follow, the prescribed duties, so that we can follow them and get liberated. So that's the essence here. Any questions? No questions? Everything clear? Any discussion points? Okay, so what we can do now is maybe we should do the values of life book. We all have it. So maybe Hemita, you want to share your screen, and because I don't think everyone has the book, like Om, Tristan, and who else? Jyotish, you have the book, right?
Yeah, I have it, but I don't have it with me right now.
You have what?
I have the book, but it's not with me right now.
Go and get it. All of you go and get your books. Book number 6, I think we're still doing book number 6, finding the last few chapters.
Auntie, can I quickly take some pictures of the pages? And
Yes,
then I can
yes, yes.
I can't get my book.
Why? What happened?
There's like construction upstairs and my book is there.
Okay, that's fine. Then she's sharing the screen. We can do that.
So I'll read. Bhagavad Gita is also known as Upanishad. It is the essence of Vedic knowledge. It is one of the most important Upanishads in Vedic literature. It is the essence. Essence means the creed or the main, in short, like it's so vast, but it's not possible for us to read all. Then, if we just read one book, Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to understand the message of vast literature written or recorded by Vyasadeva. Of course, there are many commentaries in English.
Okay. Which one will we do today?
For another one, Prabhupada says about 700 different translations and commentaries by different authors to Bhagavad Gita. There is also one book, Bhagavad Gita, entitled Prabhupada name our Bhagavad Gita as Bhagavad Gita as it is. Basically, it's from the teachings of the our session from Madhya Sampradaya. There is one Bhagavad Gita translated and also commentary by one scriptures like this.
Is it ready? Okay, let's do festivals of India. Nice. Okay, let's, can you zoom in a little bit? Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so we have Dashera is a festival celebrated as a time for victory of good over evil. Actually, I was going to include these festivals of India in our curriculum for this year. And just as I was thinking yesterday, today's topic came up. So we will continue with the festivals. Whenever, like we had Pongal or Lori and Sankranti yesterday, correct? So we're going to talk about what it means, why is it celebrated, and how is it going to help us spiritually elevate our consciousness on the occasion of all these festivals. So we will talk about that in the future sessions too. So Dashera is the 10th day in the month of October in the lunar, in the Indian calendar, Sanatan calendar, Vedic calendar, which is comes on a Dashami. It's called the 10th Tithi in the lunar calendar. The lunar calendar, sorry, I'll call it as a Vedic calendar. And on that day, what happened was Lord Ramachandra, we all know in the Ramayana, he fought with Ravana, or there was a battle with Ravana between Ravana and Lord Ramachandra, which was basically righteousness over evil. Correct? Righteousness versus evil. And obviously, we all know righteousness always wins. Correct? And Lord Ramachandra destroyed the unrighteous Ravana on this tithi of Dashera, and that's why it is celebrated as the occasion where the victory has triumphed over evil. So on this day, we celebrate in the mood of being devout to Lord Ramachandra, thinking of his qualities, his noble qualities, divine qualities, and then also pray to the Lord so that we also gain victory over the negativities and the evil tendencies that we have within ourselves, right? Just like, I mean, we don't have to fight against people or wage wars like how Lord Ramachandra did. They were his Leela Purushottama, right? Lord Ramachandra is actually an incarnation of Lord Krishna himself. And he had come here for a special purpose to teach us how to live a life of values, how to not get tempted by the situations to budge from our values, right? Because Lord Ramchandra had to go through so many hardships, or he had to go to exile to the forest based on the request of Kaikeyi and the promise that Dashrath had made to Kaikeyi. He had to send Lord Ramachandra to the forest for 14 years. And for a person who was born into royal family, who was always raised in opulence, for that such a person to go to forest at a young age and to live without basic and minimum necessities of life. You don't have a bed to sleep, you don't have a house to live in, you'll be living among dangerous animals, extreme weather, and you don't have the association of your family members. So that was the situation that Lord Ramchandra was sent. And when Lord Ramchandra heard that Mother Kaikeyi was asking this, and Dashrath Maharaj had a promise that he had made to Kaikeyi to fulfill her desire, Lord Ramchandra, without even thinking for a second, he was willingly and happily going to he accepted to go to the forest just to fulfill his father's promise. And as he went to the forest, when Mother Sita and Lakshmana also went along with them, they experienced so many extreme situations, again, as I said, in terms of weather, in terms of not having proper house, not having proper shelter, not having proper bed to sleep, and in the forest. And there were so many situations where Lord Ramchandra could have tricked and pretended to have lived in the forest, like so many other kings, and like even the boatman who helped Ramachandra cross the river. He also offered Lord Ramachandra, you can live in my house, though it is a small house, it's not a big palace, but he offered Lord Ramachandra, yes, you are out of your kingdom, you can stay in my house. Why do you have to really go to the forest? You can stay in my house. It's equivalent to being exiled from your kingdom. So why are you thinking about going to the forest? But Lord Ramachandra told that I have to stick to the promise, or to the exact request that Kaikeyi made, though she knows or not whether I'm implementing it or not, because she wouldn't come and check on Ramchandra. Oh, is he really in the forest? Is he hiding somewhere? She can't come and check. Can she? No, right? Despite all that, Lord Ramchandra did exactly as was promised to Mother Kaikeyi, without taking any shortcuts, without looking for escaping the situation. He did it willingly, happily, wholeheartedly, and he did it as an act of sacrifice. Everywhere he did his best. He destroyed the demons in his journey through the forests, and he came across so many hardships, but he never gave up, never ran away from situations. So we have to understand that, like Lord Ramachandra, we also have to do the best in our life situations. We should not budge from difficult situations. We should not take shortcuts. We should not try to cheat others, just like what we discussed, right? So Dashera is an occasion where we celebrate those true virtuous qualities of Lord Ramachandra by thanking him, by praising him, by singing for him, and by being grateful to him at the same time, asking him to bless us with those nice qualities, bless us to give us the strength so we can also be able to perform our activities in that mode that Lord Ramchandra had done when he appeared on this planet. Basically, we want him to bless us so that we are able to walk in his path, right? Follow his footsteps while praising him and being very thankful and grateful for all that he did. Right? So that is an occasion, and that's Dashera. It's celebrated in the month of October. There's another significance to Dashera where it's called Navaratri is celebrated. I'm going to discuss that in the next class. Now it's almost, yeah, it's 9:30. We'll talk again next week then. Remind your parents to join for the parent meeting this evening at 6 p.m. I send the flyer. Please talk to them and make sure at least one parent from each of your families joins the parent meeting. Okay. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Thank you all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.